Second semester bcom examination August September 2023. NEP scheme commerce banking innovation. Total 60 marks question paper. 3 sections irutte. Section A, B, C. Section A ಎಲ್ಲ 2 marks questions. ಎನಿ 6 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ನ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸು 12 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಇಂದ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್? Export Import Bank is a specialized financial institution in India. The bank's primary function is to finance, facilitate and promote India's international trade. Second question, what is meant by bank overdraft? An overdraft occurs when something is withdrawn in excess of what is in a current account for financial system. This can be funds in a bank account. In this situation, the account is said to be overdrawn. What is letter of credit? Letter of credit refers to a letter from a bank guaranteeing that buyer's payment to a seller will be received on time and for the correct amount. In the execute that the buyer is unable to make payments on the purchase, the bank will be required to cover the full or remaining amount of the purchase. What is negotiable instrument? Negotiable instrument is a transferable signed document that promises to pay a certain person or to a bearer of the instrument a certain sum of money at the future date or demands. Example, checks, bills of exchange and promissory notes. What is foreign bank? Foreign bank, it is a type of bank that is obligated to follow regulations of both the home and host countries. Foreign banks can provide more loans than subsidiary banks. What is blockchain? Blockchain is basically a distributed ledger. It can store facts like who owns a particular piece of land or a bond. The technology can be used to keep an immutable records of ownership and enables transactions of the assets amongst distribution parties. Who is banking ombudsman? Banking ombudsman is a government official appointed to investigate complaints made by individuals against government or public bodies. Who is paying banker? The banker who is liable to pay the value of check of the customer as per the contract when the amount is due from him to the customer is called paying banker. Section B ಎಲ್ಲ 4 marks questions. 3 questions ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 12 marks ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. First one, explain the importance of CIBIL. CIBIL score is a 3-digit numeric summary of customers' credit history. The score is derived using the credit history found in the CIBIL report, also known as CSR, Credit Information Report. CIBIL score helps the borrower to know his credit status. If the person has a very good CIBIL score, the institution may grant him a loan at a lower interest rate and with minimum paperwork. If the CIBIL score of the candidate is very low, banks either do not approve his loan applications or grant him a loan at higher rate of interest. Easy credit from lenders, easy approval from leased rented properties, higher approval limits, more negotiation authority. Next question, explain the different types of accounts. First one, current account. A current account is a deposit account for traders, business owners and entrepreneurs who need to make and receive payments more often than others. These accounts hold more liquid deposits with no limit on the number of transactions per day. Current accounts allow overdraft facility, that is withdrawing more than what is currently available in the account. Second point, saving account. A saving account is a regular deposit account where you earn a minimum rate of interest. Bank offer a variety of savings account based on the type of depositor, feature of the product, age or purpose of holding the account. These are regular saving account for children, senior citizens or women's, family saving account and more. Next one, fixed deposit account. Fixed deposit account allow you to learn a fixed rate of interest of keeping a certain sum of money locked in for a given time, that is until the FD matures. FDs range between a maturity period of 7 days to 10 years. The rate of interest you earn on FDs will depend on the tenure of the FD. Generally, you cannot withdraw money from an FD before it matures. Last point, recurring deposit account. RD is a fixed tenure. You need to invest a fixed sum of money in it regularly to earn interest. You cannot change the tenure of the RD and the amount to be invested. The maturity period of an RD would range between 6 months to 10 years. Next question, explain the importance of mobile banking. Mobile banking refers to the use of mobile device to carry out financial transactions. The service is provided by some financial institution, especially banks. Clients are now able to check their balances, view their bank statements online, make transfers, and even carry out prepaid services purchase. Next, importance of mobile banking. Mobile banking allows customers to able to access banking services from anywhere. Businesses and business owners are now able to save time by making use of mobile applications to process their payments or even receive funds from clients directly to their phone number. Instant transactions, availability of all banking services, better control of finance. Through mobile banking, you can avail yourself of almost every banking services. Mobile banking apps are an easy way to manage your money while on the go. What are the 4 reasons the checks are dishonored? Circumstances for dishonor of checks. First point, insufficiency of funds. When the adequate funds are not available in the account of a customer, then the checks can be dishonored if the banker pays a countermanded check. Second one, notice of the customer's death. The banker should not make payments on checks presented after the death of a customer. He should return the check with the remark drawer deceased. Notice of customer's insanity. The banker should stop the payments on the checks drawn and received after receipt of notice of the customer insanity. However, the banker should be very careful in this regard. Notice of customer's insolvency. A banker should refuse payments on the checks soon after the customer is adjudicated as insolvent. Receipt of garnishee order. The banker should stop payments on checks received after the receipt of such an order, but if the order is for a specific amount, checks should be honored if remaining amount is sufficient to meet them. Notice of assignment. The banker should stop the payment on the receipt of the notice assignment signed by the customer of the credit balance in his account. Explain the features of augmented reality. Augmented reality is a set to change how we interact with brands and other their services with the adoption in the banking sector. Augmented reality promises never seen before the change in banking. First one, locating ATMs. AR phone application have been made which helps customers to locate ATMs nearly and bank branches. Self-service. Today customers prefer banking from the comfort of their homes rather than visiting bricks and mortar bank branches. Payment experience. The AR finance apps can encourage payments by recognizing the specification and price of an item and the data on customer experience with the real world. Security. The introduction of AR into banking can improve security with biometric security like voice recognition and retail areas. Section C, 12 marks questions, 3 questions attend ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. First one, what is bank advance? Briefly explain different types of bank advances. First one, personal loans. Most banks offer personal loans to their customers and the money can be used for only expensive like paying a bill or purchasing a new television. Generally, these loans are unsecured loans. The lender or the bank needs certain documents like proof of the assets, proof of the income, etc. Credit card loans. When you are using a credit card, you must understand that you have to repay for all the purchases you make at the end of the billing cycle. Home loans. When you wish to purchase a house, applying for a home loan can help you to great extent. It provides you the financial support and helps you to buy the house for yourself and your loved ones. Car loans. Buying a car can definitely instill a great sense of joy and happiness in you. A car will remain as your asset and it is going to be one of the biggest investment that you make. Two-wheeler loans. A two-wheeler is pretty essential in today world. Maybe it be going for a long ride or a buy in city. Bikes and scooter help you to commute conveniently. A two-wheeler loan is easy to apply for this amount you borrow under this loan can help you to purchase a two-wheeler. Small business loans. Small business loans are loans that are provided to small scale and medium scale business to assist various business requirements. These loans can be used for variety of purposes that help in growing the business. Some of these could include purchase of equipment, buying inventory, paying the salary of employees. Payday loans. Payday loans are also called salary loans. These are unsecured short-term loans that requires the customer to be employed with the steady income. They usually have high interest rates. This is based on the applicant's credit profit, age and income. Cash advances. These loans are offered by the credit cards issues and allow credit card users to withdraw cash from an ATM machine using credit card. The amount of cash that can be withdrawn from the credit card in this way will be depends on the credit limits available. Home renovation loan. Home innovation loans are offered by the most lenders. This can be availed to meet the expenses related to renovation, repairs or improvement of an existing residential property. Agricultural loan. Agricultural loans are loans that are provided to farmers to meet the expenses of their day-to-day or general agriculture requirements. Explain the functions of Reserve Bank of India in detail. Monetary authority. The Reserve Bank of India is the main monetary authority of country, and besides that the central bank acts as bank of the national and state government. Objectives are maintaining price stability and ensuring adequate flow of credit to productive sectors. Manager of exchange control. The central bank manages to reach the goal of the Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. Objective to facilitate external trade and payments and promote orderly development and maintenance of foreign exchange market in India. Issue of currency. The bank used and exchange or destroys currency and coins not fit for circulation. The objectives are giving the public adequate supply of currency of goods quali- quality and to provide loans to commercial banks to maintain or improve the GDP. Developmental role. The central bank has to perform a wide range of promotional functions to support national objectives and industries. The RBI faces a lot of intersectoral and local inflation related problems. Related functions. The National Housing Bank NHB was established in 1988 to promote private real estate acquisition. The institution maintains banking accounts of all scheduled banks too. Explain the principles of bank lending in detail. Principles of bank lending. Principle of safety. Safety is the most important principle of good lending. When banker lends, he must feel certain that the advances is safe and the money will definitely come back. Principle of liquidity. The borrowers must be is a position to repay within a reasonable time after a demand for repayment is made. This can be possible only if money is employed by the borrower for short-term requirements and not locked up in acquisition food assets in schemes which take a long time to pay their way. Principle of purpose. The purpose should be productive so that the money not only remains safe but also provides a definite source of repayment. Principle of profitability is a financial benefit that is realized when the amount of revenue gained from a business activity exceeds the expenses, costs, and taxes needed to sustain the activity. Principle of security. It has been practice of banks not to lend as per the possible expect against security. The banker carefully examines all the different aspects of and advances before granting etc. Principle of spread. The principle of good lending is a diversification of advances. An element of risk is always present in every advance. However secure it might be appears to be, in fact, the entire banking business is one of the taking calculated risk. Principle of national interest, sustainability, etc. Even when the advances satisfies all good principles, it may still not be sustained. The advances may run counter to national interest. Principle of idle advances, one which is granted to the reasonable customer for an approved purpose in which the customer was adequate experience, safe in the knowledge that the money will be used to advantage and repayment will be made within reasonable period. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of internet banking. Internet banking, also known as online banking or e-banking or net banking, is a facility offered by banks and financial institutions that allow customers to use banking services over the internet. Advantages of internet banking. Internet banking makes funds transfer a time and cost efficient option. You can monitor your account balances 24 by 7. You can quickly open fixed or recurring deposits. You can apply various utility bills from the comfort of your home. You can request checkbooks and debit card online. Placing order from bank products tracking account. Disadvantages of internet banking. Funding the account requires you to visit the branch. There is no provision for online cashless deposit. Access to stable internet connection is a prerequisite for withdrawal. Without it, you cannot use only internet banking functions. Not securing your account with strong password can leave it susceptible and vulnerable to internet fraud. No cashless deposit option, internet fraud. Explain the relationship of banker and customer. General relationship between banker and customer. First one, debitor and creditor, trustee and beneficiary, pledger and pledgee, advisor and client, banker as an agent, licensor or licensee, bilateral and bailee. Second point, special relationship between banker and customer, rights of the banker, obligations. Debtor and creditor relationship. Debtor. Dr. H.L. Hart, a banker is normally a debtor for his customer and bound to discharge immediate by concerning customer checks. Creditors, according to Swiss Banking Cooperating 1921, the banker undertakes the deposits from the customer. The customer is who lend money in the form of deposit and on demand he receives bank deposited amount. Relationship of pledger and pledgee. The relationship between the customer and the banker can be that pledger and pledgee. This can be defined 172 Contract Act as the of goods and security for payment of debt or performance of the promises is called as pledgee. The bailer in this case is called as pledger. The bailee is called as pledgee. Pledgee arises when goods or securities are derived by one person pledger to another person pledgee to be held as security for payment of debts is called as pledgee and pledger relationship. Relationship of licensor and licensee. Licensor relationship with licensee will be that of independent contractor. It is just contract relationship as employer or employee licensor grants the in which licensee the right to use the brand name, trademark, patent, technology or ability to produce and sell goods owned by the licensor while the party receiving the intellectual property is called licensee. Banker as a trustee. Banker act as a trustee for managing the assets of others. Today, many banks separate departments look after this function. The customer may request the banker to keep his valuable in safe, or one may deposit some amount and request the banker to manage funds for specific purpose. Bank collect the checks levies of the customer in the capacity of trustee. Banker as a bailee. Customer can keep it valuable or an secret document in the bank for safe custody. When the banker accepts the that seems he will be accepting it as bailee, we should protect the valuable in its custody with reasonable care. If the customer suffers only loss due to this of the banker, and the banker is liable to pay such loss, if it is beyond the control of the banker, then he is not liable for penalty. Banker as an agent. There are certain agencies function discharged by the banker. He collects checks, draft of the customer, collects dividends, interest on securities on behalf of customer. They act as an agent for buying and selling corporate securities for its customers. Relationship of advisor and client. A banker acts as an advisor to their customer or clients in which the law carry out instructions to have effective customer transactions. Special relationship. It is related to the mutual rights and obligations of customer and banker. Rights of customer and banker. Banker right of general lien. Right to charge interest, commission, incidental charges, commitment charges. Right to set off or right to combine bank accounts. Right to appropriate payment. Right to not to produce books of accounts. Right under garnishee order. Obligation to honor customer checks, to maintain secrecy of customer's account, receive checks and other instruments for collection, honor the checks of the customer across the counter, give the reasonable notice before closing the customer's account.